So, Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska was on a podcast recently, and she was being asked about future plans, specifically relating to her time in the Republican Party and whether she would consider becoming an independent or even switching parties and becoming a Democrat. And she said, depending on how the midterms shake out, she may switch to an independent who leans and caucuses with the Democrats, specifically if it's going to be close. And it sounds like she wants to put the Democrats back in charge, which could be very interesting and really help things out for the Democratic side come the midterm elections. Now, Democrats would need 3 seats to pick up to be at a 50-50 split in the Senate, which would make the tie-breaking vote J.D. Vance, and Democrats would still be in the minority. But if Lisa Murkowski switched to an independent and caucused with the Democrats, that would be 51-49, and it would be enough to give them the advantage. And it sounds like that is what she is considering, enough to put them back in power in the Senate. So this is a developing thing. She hasn't made anything official and said which way she would lean. It's interesting to me, though, that we have at least one potential defector from the Republican Party. I've been talking a lot about that line. Where do they get to the point when they say enough's enough, and they start walking away from the Republican Party, from Donald Trump, etc., and they focus on their own survival, especially politically. And this could be what she is doing. Looking at the writing on the wall, going, Republicans aren't going to be in power forever. Donald Trump's policies aren't working. Worried that they need to put some checks back into place to reel in what this administration is doing. And she could ultimately put the Democrats back over the top for being in the majority in the Senate. And it might only be a temporary thing. She may only caucus with the Democrats as an independent for 2 or 4 years, just enough to get through the midterms and see how the first half of the 2028 presidential winner's term actually looks like. She may go back and forth on which party she sides with. That's entirely possible. And she may end up ultimately going back to being a Republican after the MAGA movement is pushed aside, after things kind of return to normal in politics, or what was a pre-Donald Trump normal. So we'll see how she ends up turning out here if she does end up switching parties. But the cracks are forming within the Republican Party, and it's only going to get worse for the Republicans.